Hey folks, Jonathan here. Just want to give an update on what's going on, what I've been working on. So I bought this boat, and it wasn't on this trailer, it was on another trailer. I'll show you the trailer first. Okay, here's the trailer it was on. This is an old steel trailer that somebody has done a lot of patchwork and welding on. And we actually broke the tongue off getting the boat out from where it was. It was in a rough place over behind the chicken houses, or the chicken house where I got all the cars from. So flat tires, and what was happening was when I was pulling the front of the boat, it was raising up, and these was digging down in the ground. So every time you get a root or something, you know, it was grabbing. So I was having a hard time. But the important thing is we got it out and we didn't tear the boat up. Okay. One thing about the boat, it had that 150 horse Mercury tower of power, I guess is what you call it. We had to pull it off before I even took it off that trailer because the transom is rotten as can be on this thing. So I've got to completely redo it. As you can see, the wood is just missing completely out of it. So they used 2 pieces of 3/4 plywood stacked together to do the whole transom. So we're going to redo the entire transom, probably remove this section out, do it, and then put that section back in. And not a hard job. I've done them before. I've done it on my other boat. I'll probably also do some reinforcing because I like to put a nice bar back here. And I see they got a rod holder here, and then they got a place for one here. But I like to add my own on. And when I do that, I usually come down and support the back of the boat. That way there's no issues. Because that engine on the back is a lot of weight. And you hit a stump or something, you know it. So some of you may or may not know the deal. I've got an 18-foot Lone Star, which is a 1965 model. It's basically the same boat. It's not the same brand, but I mean it's same style, same design, aluminum. I like aluminum boats because we go to the river a lot. But I like vintage boats, you know, I like old ones. But this is, like I said, that was a 65, and we're redone it. And this is a 73. This is the same year my wife was born, and my wife has laid claim to this because she wanted it. And from the time I told her about it, you know, with it being the same length as ours, because we like the length of it, we like to fish out of it, but with it being that length and having this little cabin, because a lot of times, you know, when it's 70 degrees here, it's liable to be 55 on the river, and with the moisture it just gets cold. So you know, we're going to get this set up to where the cabin inside we can have a little, you know, small propane heater or something like that. And all this will have to be redone, the boards, the panel for the controls, you know, for the steering, everything, that'll all be redone. I don't even know if I'm going back with Mercury. I may go back with an Evinrude or Johnson, probably maybe a 140. The boat's rated for a 140. That 150 wouldn't hurt it, but it's rated 140. Everything will get cleaned up. This vinyl here will come off. We're going to go down to the aluminum. We may paint some of it, may not, who knows. But I'll redo the interior. You know, the interior is simple on boats. You know, the cushions don't take much to do. You know, this is a little more fancy, but they used actually that heated seam material. That's not, you know, it's not like it's been sewn in or anything like that for the little ribs up and down. But the boat, when it comes to the structure of the boat, is in very good shape. No big issues. The only issue I seen was where the pop rivets had been ripped on that panel over there, and that panel's moved. But there was a tree growing in this boat, and pretty good size one, and actually had to take the carpet and the tree and pick it all up at one time with the skid steer and take it out of here yesterday because it was way too heavy to even attempt to. So this is what we've got left. We've got the water out of it, and this is the dirt and stuff we've got left to get cleaned out. And then we're going to take this thing and take everything out of the inside of it, and we'll pick it up in the front as high as I can get it, and we're going to pressure wash everything in it and clean it, and then, you know, use a shop vac, get it all completely, totally cleaned out, and then we'll start back with our wood, you know, redoing it and getting it back in shape. It don't take long to do these things, you know. It's not, this is not like a restoration on a car where you're going to be spending, you know, months and months. I mean, you can knock something like this out pretty darn quick. And you know, when it comes to the woodwork, you're not talking about, you know, building a chest of drawers where you've got to carve the front of the doors or make anything really nice. This is all just plywood and put together, you know, quick and easy. It's not a complicated setup to begin with. And you know, like I said, the floor is just going to be plywood. And but the hull of the boat is in really good shape. You know, we've got paperwork on the boat, which is a good thing. There's one window that's missing right here that we'll have to probably get cut. And everything else seems to be there. I'm thinking this is plexiglass because it's got a bend in the center. But you know, the bones of the boat's good. The trailer I put it on is not the best trailer in the world, but we can work with it. The boat's not far enough forward yet, and tires are flat. I think what I'm going to do, the axle's rated enough, but I don't want 13-inch tires, so I'm probably going to go buy 15-inch or 14-inch wheels and tires, and then maybe have to redo the fenders or move them or something. And I think I need to try to find out the weight on this boat, but I don't think it's going to be too heavy for a single axle. It was originally on a single axle. I've seen the other ones on the single axle. Now mine's on a dual axle, but I don't think it needs to be. But it just happened to be when I got it. So y'all can let me know what you think about whether I should maybe do some videos while I'm on the boat or not do them. I don't know. It really don't matter. I don't guess. Probably just be a bunch of cleaning and a bunch of woodwork, and you know, figuring out what she wants for paint, getting it cleaned up. So, you know, probably the major thing. Okay, folks, here's the start of our Roadster body, and it's not looking too bad. Shane brought me another dash, which is in pretty good shape, better than the one that's on it. So that's going to save a little work, and then we can patch these rockers, well, these panels in at the bottom of the cow. The doors we can make work. What we're going to have to do is turn the hinges over. This hinge here is going to have to come out and get flipped over, put back in, and we'll get it lined up on this, and then we're going to move this hinge from here down to the door, and we'll flip it around, and that'll be it for the hinges. We'll get all that done and keep the body lined up how I want it, and then build a subframe in from here back and from there back. Anyway, that's where we're at on this. I hadn't worked on it or anything, just grab, you know, still collecting up parts, and that's probably what we'll be doing for a while. This is, like I said, this is one of the straight 8 Buicks going in with the 5-speed, and we used the 32 grill on it. And like I said, it's not going to be exactly like the 29 or 28 that was on Happy Days, but you know, that's the sort of the look that we're going for anyway. And like I said, that's 28, 29 cow, and that's 30, 31 doors. So, all right. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to work on my pollen covered Roadster here. Try to line the front end up on it. It's towed out 1/4 of an inch, so it walks back and forth. I think I'll pull the driver's side rear wheel off and see what my noise is in there. Something scrubbing. And we'll just work on it, go with it from there. All right. Okay, we've got our problem fixed in the back. I put new drums on it. Now, I was buying them drums assuming that was a 68 Mustang rear end, and I still assume it is, but the drum was rubbing the backing plate. And whether they had machined the drum and didn't, I don't know, they didn't get it perfect or something, so it was hitting it. So I went on and done a little relieving, so we're good there. No problems. I was more worried about it being a safety issue, so that was good to find out it wasn't. Alright, so I heated that, still didn't want to turn. I wasn't liking it anyway, so I ordered 2 new tie rod ends, a left and a right. I'm going to replace these, and I just don't want to, again, safety stuff. I just don't want to take a chance on it. And I know these things got wear in them, and I need to do the kingpins on this eventually, and we'll do that later. But so we still don't have a front end lined up. I did take it down the road and back, so that's all I can do on this thing right now. So I'm going to jump back on the Coupe, and I'm going to do the measuring. Get a bore on this, or get the outside, the OD of this pipe. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a short pipe that bees out and goes one to this side and one to this side. But what we want to do is keep them up as close as we can to here, still have room for the hose, and try to angle them, you know, in the right direction so they don't look too stupid. And that's what we're going to try to do right now. We'll see how that works out. All right, let me get the measurement on this. Probably turn out a piece of steel and put a little edge on it. I like to have something on it to keep it from sliding the clamp off. See how that works out. Okay, folks, here's piece number 1. 1.5 inches. Got my little lip on the end so the hose don't come off. And now I got to come up with the other pieces. We'll try to do something where we can weld it together. All right, here's our next piece. A lot of y'all may recognize this as a blow-by tube for a I think a 216, 235 Chevrolet. This was off of the parts sedan delivery, which the hood rusted through. Somebody must have had fertilizer on the hood or something, and then the valve cover rusted through, and then it rained down the engine for a long time, and when I pulled this out, water just poured out of the engine. So anyway, we're going to use this short section right here with the bends in it, and we're going to try to get it how I want it, at the angle I want it. So we're going to cut it off here and over here, and then we'll figure out where we got to put our hole and get everything all together and weld it up. I think it'll work out fine if we can get the angle right on. Okay, folks, we got her cut and got her welded on there. Got a little bit more grinding and welding to do just to clean it up some, and then we'll paint it. And we just got to run from here to that one, and from there to this one. So we got to get some 1.25 inch hose, and we'll get it all on and clamp it. And I think that'll work just fine. And then I'll probably get one of them flexible hoses and see if we can get it on here and see how that's going to work out. It's going to have to do a pretty deep dive down, but it'll work. But bearing will be here tomorrow. Hoses, we should be able to take this for the first drive tomorrow, as long as nothing, you know, goes crazy or comes up that we're, you know, not expecting or not planning. Today, the 14th, this is 6 months today that I quit smoking. And for anybody that's wondering, now I have not touched a single cigarette. There's no doubt. I mean, I just, when I do something, I'm pretty serious about it. But one thing about it, I don't know that I'd do it again if I had to do it over. I've gained weight. I feel like I don't have as much energy as I used to have. Don't move as well. I mean, it's just a lot of things, a lot of downfalls to quitting that I don't know that I'd want to put up with again. And you know, I know everybody's going to say, well, it's better for you, it's better for you, it's better for you. I mean, I understand that, whatever, but you know, getting fat ain't good for me either. But I'm getting there, and I knew it too. But I knew that, you know, that was going to be an issue because my mom and my biological dad, you know, I met him for about 10 minutes one time, and you know, he wasn't no small man, let's put it that way. So anyway, I knew there was going to be an issue. I know I haven't welded the mounts yet. That's because everybody reminded me after the video, not before. But no, I'm just joking. I hadn't got it up close enough to the welder here to weld them. So anyway, we'll get them. But the not smoking thing, you know, it's like Groundhog Day, if you ever watched that. Every day is the same to me. In other words, I need a cigarette every day. I could use one right now. I could smoke one the size of a darn telephone pole inside of a plastic bubble, you know, or just, you know, it's just, it's something that I don't know that I'm ever going to get away from. You know, everybody said it'll get better, Well, it hadn't got better. It's, I got just as much want for a cigarette today as I did the day I quit. So, but, you know, like I said, I quit, so I'm not going to smoke anymore. But it's rough. It is rough, and like I said, I went cold turkey. I didn't get any help in any way, shape, or form, which is, I'm not gonna say it's a good thing, but that's what I've done. But you know, and I gotta admit now, my YouTube subscribers probably had a little bit to do with me not going back at it, because I didn't need to hear it from everyone about it. You know, you enjoy hearing the good stuff, but sometimes it's aggravating to listen to the bad, you know. But anyway, that's the way it is, and I will weld them mounts. And anyway, I appreciate everybody, and appreciate you watching. We'll get through this stuff, and you know, it's the world's a messed up place right now, and I don't know. I just try to keep as much normal stuff in my life as I can, so you know, we can mentally get through this stuff. But all right, till next time, bye. We missed Nana here. Nana came running. Nana, I've been doing the video. Where were you? Here's another thing too. Nana's got bullseyes on its side, on her side. So I guess if somebody wanted to have the dart gun, it'd be pretty easy.